What's going on, everyone? My name is Donovan, and today we're going to be taking a look and comparing up two of Garmin's Superwatches. Specifically, we're going to be taking a look at the Garmin Fenix 5 Plus. This is their 2018 Superwatch, and comparing it up to the Garmin Fenix 6, which is the 2019 model of the watch. So before we get into that, let me just give a quick shout out to our sponsor for this video, the folks over at playbetter.com. So you can see they do have an Amazon store where they have these really awesome gift box sets where you can pick up either of these watches, tons of other outdoor gear, whether you be a runner, a cyclist, or maybe a hiker. They have tons of gear available for you both on their Amazon store and on their website. So check them out in the links down below. So that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the two watches that you see here. So the Fenix 5 Plus and the Fenix 6. So first thing you're going to notice is a difference in the price. So if you're looking at these two watches online, specifically at Playbetter, you can get the Fenix 5 Plus because it's now a year-old model for about $200 cheaper than you're going to get the Fenix 6. So that's one really important thing to consider if you're going to be picking up one of these two watches. The price point obviously is much better for the Fenix 5 Plus at this point. Now, when I picked up the Fenix 5 Plus last year, my biggest complaint, honestly, was probably just the size of the watch. So for me, this was just a little bit bulky. Obviously, for some people, that's what they want. They want that ruggedness that you get from the Fenix line of watches. But for me, it was just a little bit on the bulky side, a little bit heavy, and they did actually make some changes to that and actually slimmed it down just a little bit for the Fenix 6. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So that's my first major difference between the two watches is the weight difference. So first of all, you can see here on the back of the box, the Fenix 6 comes in at 87 grams. And in comparison, the Fenix 6 comes in at 82 grams. So that's going to be one major difference. Now, 5 grams probably doesn't seem like a lot, but I can say that this one definitely feels heavy, and you notice it when you're wearing them, especially while running, because that's when you're going to feel the weight the most because of that arm swing. And yeah, I definitely noticed the difference. So that's the first thing. The second thing is going to be the actual size of the watch. It's not a huge difference here, so it's really just a millimeter difference. So 47 millimeters versus 46 over here on the Fenix 6. So that's one. That difference is pretty negligible. I really don't see how that makes a big difference in terms of whether you're going to purchase it or not. But then the other one that makes a big difference, I think, for a lot of people is going to be the battery life. And that is definitely a major upgrade on the Fenix 6. So here you can see that the battery life on the Fenix 5 Plus, 12 days on watch mode, 19 hours on GPS mode, versus over here, 14 days on watch mode and 36 hours on GPS mode. So as a comparison, you can see that's almost double the amount on GPS mode. So it's not quite double, but really close. And what I will say is that in my typical use of the Fenix 5 Plus, I was getting around 4 to 5 days of battery life, which is still very good. And that's using it for about a half hour to 45 minutes, sometimes upwards of an hour, hour and 15 minutes on a run. And typically when I go out for a run, I am listening to music. So that's going to obviously drain your battery as well, because this does have the ability to use Spotify playlists. So you can see I have some Spotify playlists on there. So when I'm running, I am using that, and that's going to burn through the battery a lot faster. But on the Fenix 6, using basically the exact same scenario that we're talking about here on the Fenix 5 Plus, so running for about half an hour to an hour and 15 minutes each day, and using it regularly, and of course, listening to music as well. So of course, this one also has Spotify playlists is available. You can use Amazon Music. You can also use iHeartRadio and a number of other music options as well. But when I use this watch, the Fenix 6, I'm getting more like 6 to even 8 days of battery life. So it's not quite double what you get on the Fenix 5 Plus, but it is a noticeable difference when you're using this one versus the older Fenix 5 Plus. So that one would be a major difference. Another major difference being the fact that you can actually double the capacity of the watch. So the Fenix 5 Plus and all of the Fenix Plus 5 Plus models, so the 5S Plus, the 5X Plus, all come with 16 gigs of internal storage. Over here on the Fenix 6, you get 32 gigs of internal storage. So of course, that's going to be what you're going to use for your music, your maps. So you basically get double the amount of storage for all your music and maps on the Fenix 6 model of the watch. So that's going to be another major difference. Another difference that maybe could be important for some people, the Fenix 5 Plus did not come with pulse ox unless you got the 5X model of the watch. So personally, since the Fenix 5 Plus was already too big for me, the 5X was even just out of the question for me in terms of size. There was no question I was not going to get that size of a watch. So the model I got, the Fenix 5 Plus, did not come with pulse ox, whereas it comes on every single model of the Fenix 6. So if you're not familiar with pulse ox, it is basically testing out your blood acclimation, so how well your blood is acclimating to altitude in terms of oxygen intake. And for me, that's not really a necessary feature that I need in a watch, because personally, I don't need that. I live in Michigan where we're at like 800 feet altitude, and I obviously don't need to test whether my blood has acclimated to altitude like this has as an option. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about in terms of a difference is this one's kind of a silly one, but in terms of the actual widgets on the watch. So notice that here, all the widgets take up the full screen of the watch. So as I'm going through all my different notifications and everything, all the widgets take up a full screen on the watch. So here, I do really like this, that they actually give you a little bit less information on each notification. Now, if you want to go into a specific one, like here, you can see that it is going to give you more information here in the individual notifications. So that is a really nice feature. The fact that the notifications are, or the widgets are a little bit smaller here on the Fenix 6 model. And then the last thing is actually the data screen. So by default, the Fenix 5 Plus, when you are running, is limited to 4 data pieces. So if I go in here and I go into a run, you'll notice that there are only 4 data sets here. So I have my heart rate, pace, average pace, and then time up here. Actually, that's distance, I believe, right there. But then over here on the Fenix 6, when I go into a run, you actually have the option of upwards of 8. So I have 6 on mine, or no, actually I have 5 because I wanted a timer as well. So notice that on mine, by default, I do not have the timer on my first watch face or data screen, but over here I do have that available on the bottom. So there's 6 total data screens on this one. So you can actually go up to 8 on the Fenix 6X, whereas only on the 5 Plus you can only go up to 4. Now there are some apps that you can get within the Garmin Connect store where you can get more on the Fenix 5 Plus if you want, but by default, with the default settings, the data screens are limited to 4 on the Fenix 5 Plus. So those are just some of the major differences between the two. If there's anything else that you want to know about these two watches, go ahead and leave them down in the comments below. Hope this video has been helpful for you in your decision between these two watches if you're considering one of the Fenix watches. Again, check them out in our sponsor for the video, playbetter.com, and also their Amazon store in the links down below. Thanks for watching. I hope this video has been helpful for you, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.